Good morning, YouTube. This is Johnny. Thought I'd make a video. It is a Friday morning here in West Michigan. It is 8:01. It is April the 26th, coming to the end of the month of April 2019. Soon we will be going into the month of May 2019. Yeah, existence keeps crawling by on broken glass. Anyway, my wife just left to go out for breakfast with a friend, and then she's going to do a thrift store crawl. It's where you go through all the thrift stores, and you get a little stamp on a card, and then you win a prize at some drawing. She's going to do that with some friend today. But I'm sitting here like I'm always doing in the living room, not in the living room. I'm sitting in the dining room reading. This morning, like I said, I've been reading Reformed Systematic Theology, Revelation and God, Volume 1 by Joel R. Beeke and Paul M. Smalley. I've been reading this. I've read 343 pages. This volume has 1,303 pages. I'm reading on, this morning I was reading on the properties. This is chapter 18, the properties of the written word, part 1, authority and clarity. So, yeah, so I was reading that, been reading that in the mornings, and also been reading Gregory the Great, More Reflections on the Book of Job, Volume 5, books 23 to 27. I was reading this even last night. Last night my wife was gone. They had some people from her church were gathering at some house to talk about some book on Christian hospitality. And while she was gone, I read this because I get kind of tired of reading other stuff, and so I get out my Christian books and I read that. But I've been reading Memoirs of a Revolutionary by Victor Serge, and reading also Notebooks 1936 and 1947 by Victor Serge. These are translated out of French by the Memoirs of a Revolutionary by Victor Serge was translated from the French by Peter Sedgwick and George Paizis, and the Notebooks 1936 and 1947 was translated from the French by Michel Abidor and Richard Greeman. So I've been reading that and reading Bret Easton Ellis's his essays. I got in the mail some CDs. I haven't shown any music layly. I got in the mail last week before, the new Damien Gerard CD, The Horizon Just Laughed. I really like Damien Gerard. This is like his 14th album, I think. And then I got the new Dead to the Dying World Elegy in the mail. And then I got the new Enter Armin Sulfur English. And then I got the new Starflyer 59, Young in My Head. So these are the recent CDs. I guess I'm always getting CDs. I'm always buying music. I buy a lot of music. I like music. I like books. I like writing in my diary. This morning on April the 26th, 2019, I'm on page 367 for the year 2019. The last thing I wrote, I will close to take my morning pills. I might make a video. I have a lot of used books to show in a video, but am I in the mood to make a video? I feel sick inside. Everything is a mess. The world is going to hell. Yeah, I got these big stack of thrift store books, and I want to get them down the lower level before we go into this is a Friday, I might call this a Friday Reads. I got this book yesterday. I had to go to a feed store and get sunflower seeds and cracked corn and also wildflower seeds for my wildflower garden. See, these are my Midwest wildflowers. I gotta get my wildflower garden ready. Well, it's too early to plant, but I got the seeds. I got some cracked corn, sunflower seeds for our birds. And then I stopped at thrift stores, and I stopped at a couple of thrift stores, and I got this book of essays by Jon Wiener, Professors, Politics, and Pop. I read this yesterday, some of his essays. Probably read this today at the Book Nook. And I picked up this mystery, this is the Sir John Fielding mystery. This is historical crime fiction that takes place in London. This is Murder in Grub Street by Bruce Alexander. And I picked this book up, Small Things Considered, Where There Is No Perfect Design by Henry Petroski. I have his other book. I have in our library his book here, the book on the book shelf. This is Henry Bukowski. It's kind of like looking at design, packaging design and things like that. I don't know. It looks interesting. Then I picked up a book by John Cheever, which I have already, but this is only like 50 cents, and I like little paperbacks. This is the Wapchat Scandal. Then I picked this book up on Gypsies, Bury Me Standing Up, The Gypsies and Their Journey by Isabel Fonseca. It's like on the history of gypsies. Then I picked up this novel by Penelope Lively, Consequences. Then this novel by Louis Archiclaus, Honorable Men. I have this already in our library, so this would go in the roving library. I also have this one too by Penelope Lively. These would go in the roving library in my old van. And then I picked up this memoir by Mary Gordon, who I collect her short stories, her novels. This is her memoir, Circling My Mother. Picked up this novel, Caribou Island by David Vann. The Essential Bronski Poetry, selected and edited by Abel Debritto. And this is a really old hardback from the 1940s. I got it for my wife. The Gospel and Hymns by Edward Bailey. It's like it's on all about hymnology. Like, it's just an old book about people who wrote hymns and their theology, and I don't know. My wife likes books on hymns. And then I picked up The Rockefellers, An American Dynasty by Peter Collar and David Horowitz. I have their books. David Horowitz wrote a book on the Kennedys, and they wrote a book coming out of the 60s counterculture movement. And then I picked up a book I already have, but I didn't know, The Vietnam History by Stanley Cardnoff, a companion to the PBS television series, which I still have on our smart TV. A couple years ago on PBS, they did the Vietnam film series, historical series, and I taped them, and they're still on our TV to watch. So those are the thrift store books I got. You put these down the lower level, put some in the roving library in the old van. Books on gypsies, novels, books on design, essays, crime, historical crime fiction, a biography on the Rockefellers, a history of the Vietnam conflict, or the Vietnam, a history, essays, reading Gregory the Great, Moral Reflections, reading Reformed Systematic Theology, reading Victor Serge, notebooks, 1936, 1947, reading his memoirs, Memoirs of a Revolutionary. I'm really enjoying this book. I think I'm gonna get all his books, especially the ones by in the New York Review Basic Classics original. I'm gonna get those. And been reading. I really like this Bret Easton Ellis. I really like this. I mean, it's not has not blown me away, but I really recommend that people read this. At least get it out of the library if you can't spend the money. It was $25.95. I got it on pre-order it from Amazon. I think I got it for maybe $19. And been listening to Star Flora 59, Inter Arma, listening to Dead to a Dying World, listening to Damien Gerardo, and I got some wildflower seeds, writing in my diary. This morning I volunteered at the local library used bookstore, the Book Nook. Last week, well, Monday I did it, was nobody came in, and I read, what did I read? Can't remember what I read. I think I read the Notebooks, 1936 to 1947. So yeah, so here it's a Friday. Things have gotten green here. Flowers are blooming. Birds are singing. Birds are making their nest. Yeah, we're going into the month of May, which is tulip time here in Holland, Michigan. Thousands and thousands and thousands of people come to Holland, Michigan. They have a big, huge tulip festival and Dutch dancing and parades and people selling stuff on the streets, food, and they got stuff, people coming in at night giving concerts. They have a carnival that comes in. I don't get involved in any of it, I just stay home when tulip time, because Holland is just crammed full of people, and it's just, you can't go anywhere or do anything because it's so many people. So yeah, so I'll sign off. Hope you're all doing well. Thank you for new subscribers. Thank you for the comments. Yeah, keep hanging in there. That's all I'm doing. So I'll sign off. Hope you have a good weekend. And yeah, until next time. Bye.